Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Thomas Taylor III coming to you live from Lawrenceville, Georgia on this great Sunday morning, this special Sunday morning. Why is it special? Because today is Mother's Day. Today is the day that mothers all around the world, everything stops for mothers all around the world for us to pay homage to this special day and say Happy Mother's Day. So for all those who actually birthed a child, I would like to say Happy Mother's Day. As well as those who never birthed a child, but there's dozens of people out there who still call you mom. So we thank you from the bottom of our heart and we say Happy Mother's Day. So in that particular vein, that's kind of really where I want to talk to you about today. Not going to hold you long. I'm going to be brief, but right there. So the question for today is, what has your creator impregnated you with that it's time to give birth? Ooh, I'm going to say it again. What has your creator impregnated you with on this Mother's Day and it's time to give birth? Just think about that for a moment. He may have placed certain things inside your head, right? You may have dreams that haven't been fulfilled. You may have goals that you started that you didn't finish, didn't accomplish. Well, guess what? On this Mother's Day, it's actually time to give birth, right? And you may say, hey, well, you're not particularly sure on what that is. Well, just stop for a moment and think about it. What are those things that you do that nobody has to ask you to do? Right? Are you the person in your family or around your friends that you're the go-to person, right? When something happens, right? Or when a crisis goes down, or when somebody needs information or somebody needs counseling, they go to you. Are you the person that cooks the best pies, right? Or makes the best macaroni and cheese, right? And God placed inside of you to open up a restaurant. But you look around you during this pandemic and you kind of freeze and say, ooh, I'm not so sure that that's what he told me, right? Are you the person that gives financial advice where your friends, you give stock tips, right? Or you help people with their budgets, right? Things of that nature, but they always come to you. And your creator has impregnated you with something that you actually can give birth to, but you're not so sure about it, right? So just think about that for a moment, right? So those are the things that you can do, number one, without nobody asking you, right? You just kind of volunteer that information. And number two, you could do that without even getting paid, right? Because you could do that for hours, right? Just kind of go on and on and on, right? So what is that, right? So if you don't know, just stop for a moment, just pause and kind of think about those particular things that you do currently or you would like to do, right? So for me, again, I use myself as an example. I grew up without a father in New York, and that was kind of like, so what? But as I started to converse with different individuals, I started to realize that there were more and more people out there who actually grew up without a father, but nobody was talking about it. And I didn't realize, you guys, that God had impregnated me with that vision, with that dream. But until I faced some sort of adversity, I didn't even realize it, right? So in 2012, I actually gave birth to Grown Up Without a Father, right? It's an organization kind of online, grownupwithoutafather.org, that helps individuals understand kind of where they are growing up without a father, as well as they can place their story on there behind your computer in a non-threatening environment to talk about how it made them feel, right? So just kind of pause for a moment and just ask yourself, like, what is that for you? Do you know what it is, right? Can you identify with it, right? So sometimes, for the most part, we may know, but now here's the challenge, you guys. How do we move that from a thought or an idea and or a dream to something where we can monetize this, right? And I kind of spoke about that before. And right there in that transition is kind of where we get stuck, right? Because we kind of don't know which way to go, don't know where to turn. how to set up our business. So what happens is, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine. What happens is, you guys, those things that we love to do, what we do is we call it our side hustle. Ooh, yep, I said it. We just call it our side hustle. Why? Because it's just a common phrase that says, yep, I'm doing something, but it's my side hustle. The challenge with that, you guys, is we have to move from that mind frame of a hustle to a business, right? Why? Because from a business standpoint, there's certain fundamental things that we need to do to legitimize that business. And then slowly we start to change our mindset from a hustle to a business. Why? Because on a hustling standpoint, if we actually, advertise what we're doing, and we have people who actually, pay us for what we do, when it comes to pricing, we don't really have a set pricing, right? It's whatever we can negotiate, right? Because our mindset is of a hustling mentality. The challenge with that is, from a hustling standpoint, right? How do you expand? How do you scale, right? So when you get to that frame of mind, right, you can scale a business, right? It's kind of challenging to scale a hustle, right? Not that you can't, but when you have to actually quantify it and then have a means and a methodology to continually get back with your customers, right? It's kind of better to move that quote unquote hustle to a business, right? So I'm talking about a business. I'm talking about, sole proprietorship, LLC, right? Domain name, like all those particular things. So now you're looked at differently in the marketplace, and then your mindset changes as well. Because as a business, there's certain criteria that you definitely have to uphold versus a hustle, right? Same skill set, right? Same drive, same zeal, but different mindset, right? So as we move on, I'll be able to speak more in depth about those particular things. Actually, I'm going to move my Facebook Lives to a different platform. I'm going to move it to Sunday evenings, and I'll actually distribute the time, because what I want to do is I want to get into more of a conversation. Right now, it's just kind of me sharing, right? But when we move it to a different platform, what it'll do is it'll actually give us an opportunity to interact, right? Ask questions and build. Why? Because we all have things inside of us that to create a place that need to come out. But one thing that I realized is sometimes you need people that either been where you want to go, understand how to help you get there, right? So we all can move together, right? Because when you look at teams, right, individuals don't win championships. Teams win championships. Kobe has a different viewpoint of that, but you guys understand my concept, right? So because if we stay in that mindset, excuse me, we don't grow together, right? As a family, as a community, as a diaspora of people who always sometimes are in a position where, when they're giving things out, we're always the last people on the line, right? So I kind of want to help change that narrative. So I want to move this over to a different platform so we can interact. And then, as you guys know, I coach, right, to help those individuals who feel like they want some sort of coaching, to coach them to another level, right? Because again, and I said it before, I have a lot of people that I know that are in business that kind of move from a quote unquote hustling mentality to a business. And I say it all the time. One of my good friends, my man, has grown man business, embroidery, Charles Ward. He was just doing it kind of a little bit, in terms of helping the community with embroidery. And now, you guys, he just got delivered, I think Friday, his 4th embroidery machine, right? Just 4. Like his business is expanding. I know individuals that do candles, right? If you want momentum in terms of a candle, I know brothers who do t-shirts, emblems, like all different types of things. But we're kind of all coming together and moving forward. Why? Because when you understand business, you guys, you stop and ask yourself, and for all those who understand Shark Tank, who've seen Shark Tank, they always talk about an evaluation, right? So think about that. You can't really talk about an evaluation on a hustle, you guys. They talk about the evaluation on your business. Why? Because people build businesses to sell. Happens every single day, right? So if we're not building, right, for that, what's the evaluation of what you're doing? Now, the evaluation is not only what you see, but it's what the market sees, right? 5 million, 10 million, $100 million evaluation on your business. So that's kind of the mindset that I kind of want to help and go towards and kind of move us from what God impregnated us with, right? Which is a beautiful thing, because he's given all of us talents, every single one of us. But have you identified it? And then have you moved from just kind of doing it casually to a business to help those around you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you see, man, I could go on and on about this, but on this beautiful day, this Mother's Day, I just want to say, keep up the good work, keep pushing, and keep believing, you guys. So again, this is Thomas Taylor III. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Thomas Taylor III. That's Taylor Your Dreams, as well as Facebook. My email address, if you have questions, is tyd@tayloryourdreams.com, you guys. So kind of look out on Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to put some things out there where you guys can register with your email address, right, to the next platform, so we could be in a position to share and build and bond and move this thing that God has placed inside of us, you guys. Until then, go out there, make it a great day, and treat those mothers and wives like the queen that they are. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.